Have you ever gone back to a game from your childhood and realized one specific area felt way more disturbing than you remembered? Not because it had monsters, not because it was hard, just because everything about it felt wrong. For me, that level is Hazy Maze Cave. And the weird thing is, when you're just a kid, you don't really question it, you just accept it as another Mario level. But looking back now as an adult, Hazy Maze Cave feels less like a playground and more like an abandoned underground facility pretending to be a video game level. And I genuinely think there's a reason this place sticks in people's heads. Because Hazy Maze Cave isn't scary in the normal way, it's psychologically uncomfortable. First thing that makes this level feel so unsettling is the transition into it. Super Mario 64 is usually bright, open skies with grass and sunlight and freedom. Even inside Peach's castle there's a warmth to it. Paintings, carpet, windows, music, it feels alive. Then suddenly, you jump into Hazy Maze Cave and it feels like the game buries you underground. There's no sky, no sunlight, no sense of where you are. Just metal, stone, dark water, industrial platforms, and this weird feeling that you're somewhere you're never supposed to find. That's what makes this level memorable. It feels isolated. And the layout makes the feeling even worse. Nothing in Hazy Maze Cave feels natural. The hallways twist in strange directions, elevators move with this cold, mechanical rhythm, doors lead to giant empty spaces, half of the level feels abandoned. The other half feels unfinished. Even as a kid, your brain notices something about this place that doesn't make sense. Not in the bad game design way, in a dream logic kind of way. Like the cave was designed by something trying to imitate architecture without fully understanding how humans actually move through spaces. And honestly, I think that's why this level sticks with people, because it creates a weird architectural uncanny feeling. Everything looks familiar, but none of it feels safe. The cave also constantly crushes your sense of space. Super Mario 64 usually gives you room to move, big jumps and open environments and freedom, but Hazy Maze Cave keeps squeezing you into narrow tunnels, low ceilings, cramped corridors, and tiny ledges hanging over darkness. And when you combine that with the N64's foggy draw distance, it starts to feel claustrophobic, like the cave is closing in around you. Even the camera struggles in here, and honestly that almost makes it scarier, because it makes the player feel disoriented too. Then there's the toxic haze, which honestly might be the most important part of the whole level. The fog doesn't just damage you, it changes the psychology of the environment. You can't clearly judge depth. Your health is constantly ticking down while this cloudiness swallows everything around you. And the craziest part, the fog isn't dramatic, it's quiet. No giant horror music or monster screaming at you, just a slow suffocating pressure hanging over the entire area. Like the level itself is contaminated. And because N64 graphics are primitive, your imagination fills in the blanks. As kids, we weren't seeing polygons, we were seeing a real toxic underground cave. And then there was Lapras. And then there's Dory, which might secretly be one of the weirdest creatures Nintendo has ever made. Because Dory isn't hostile. She doesn't chase you, she barely even reacts to your existence. She just exists, silently, deep underground. And something about that makes her unsettling, especially since she feels so ancient, like she's been trapped down there forever. As a kid, I remember seeing Dory and not really understanding what I was looking at. She wasn't cute enough to feel friendly, but she wasn't dangerous enough to feel like an enemy. She just felt unnatural, like part of the cave itself. Even the enemies in this level feel off. The scuttlebugs move in these stiff, unusual patterns. The giant pit areas feel endless. The black hole room looks like the game opened a hole directly into nothingness. And because of the low poly graphics, everything has these sharp edges and strange empty spaces. Modern games try to make environments feel believable. Hazy Maze Cave feels indifferent to human life, and somehow that makes it more memorable. I also think this level taps into a really specific childhood fear. Getting lost underground. Because Hazy Maze Cave loops in itself constantly, you go down elevators, around corners, and through tunnels into hidden rooms, and eventually you stop understanding where you even are anymore. You're just wandering deeper. That's why this level feels dreamlike. Not because it's magical, because it feels unstable. Like the cave rearranges itself the second you stop paying attention. I think the real horror of Hazy Maze Cave isn't the monsters, it's the environment itself. Everything about this place feels hostile. The toxic air, the industrial noises, the buried architecture. It feels less like Nintendo designed this for fun and more like a place you accidentally discover. Which is probably why so many people remember it decades later, because Hazy Maze Cave doesn't scare you directly. It just quietly convinces your brain that you shouldn't be there. And maybe that's why old games still hit so differently. The hardware limitations, the weird geometry, the empty spaces, they force our imagination to finish the image. And sometimes our imagination makes those worlds way scarier than they're developed to be. But that's just how I see it. So let me know in the comments, what level from your childhood felt strangely unsettling to you? And if you enjoyed this kind of psychological deep dive into a retro game, please drop a like and subscribe because honestly, I kinda want to explore more weird gaming fever dreams like this.